Hey guys, it's the Angry Honey Badger, and today it is time to take a look at a new champion. Fizz is out, so we're going to start looking at him, and we got a build video all set up and everything to go. So first I'm going to start off by looking over his overview and his abilities, masteries, since we have all that new stuff, and then we'll get into the game. So if you just want to skip straight to that, you probably have to go to around the 6 minute mark. I don't know, I'm just guessing, I really don't know. So jump there if you want. Anyways, we're going to cover this stuff first. As for all of this, I agree for the most part. I don't think his difficulty, though, for me at least, was this high. I don't think he was as tough as I thought he was going to be. He plays like how I like him to play, so I didn't find picking him up too tough. He reminds me of a collie, kind of, the way he jumps around. So I played him kind of like a collie. Not build-wise, but just how you jump in, dart in, and kind of single out people who need to die quick. So that's kind of how I play him, and we'll see more of that obviously in the build video. But until then, let's look at his abilities. First, we're going to take a look at his Q ability, which is his Nimble Fighter. His dexterity allows him to ignore unit collision and take less physical damage from basic attacks. Basically, like it says, unit collision is ignored, which is nice when you hate the pathing in this game sometimes. We have all been in that situation where minions or we get stuck on stuff because pathing freaks out. So I think that's probably going to be pretty nice for him. Also, then the whole take less physical damage from basic attacks is also very nice. It allows you to be able to take some damage you don't want to if you get kind of caught up in the middle of a team fight and you don't want to necessarily tank it. So that's something that is very nice as well. Taking another look now at his next ability is Q, which is his Urchin Strike. Fizz strikes his target and runs through them, dealing magic damage and applying on hit effects. Basically, you kind of dart to them and do magic damage. So it's pretty basic. You'll see it happen many times in the game. It's up fairly often based off of my masteries pages and just the way I have my runes set up for the most part. But I like it a lot, and it's a good ability. I take it at level 2. Next, we're going to take a look at my W, which is my Sea Stone Trident. Fizz's trident causes rending wounds in his opponents, dealing magic damage to targets based on their missing health. Basically, your basic attack does more damage, magic damage that is, and then it does the wound, which we've all seen with Talon and other champions, where based off their health over time it does more damage. So sometimes it's nice if you get into an early level 1 fight, you can actually take this. I like to take it first, and you're hitting them, and sometimes they might think that they can then run away with low health, but then that wound will actually end up killing them, which is very nice. So I like to take this at level 1, and I like to start maxing this out. It's also very, very good for clearing out minion waves, because it's got that added damage, so you can last hit a little bit easier since you're not ranged. So that's what I like to take at level 1, is his W, is Sea Stone Trident. Next, we're going to take a look at his E ability, which is his Playful/Trickster. Fizz hops into the air, landing gracefully upon his sphere, becoming untargetable. From that position, he can either slam the ground or choose to jump again before smashing back down. Basically, he just kind of pops up in the air onto his spear, and then he can come crashing down wherever you want him to. When you activate the ability for a second time, when he's on the top of his spear, he'll come down and do more damage. It's good for clearing out minion waves in the middle and late parts of the game a little bit quicker. It's also good in a team fight if you just kind of want to jump down and plop down and do some damage. Also, the part where you come untargetable is very nice. Sometimes you'll see when you're all alone with a minion wave, you'll do it, and the minions will start running away from you, because you're untargetable and they don't think you're there, so they start to take off until you land back down on them, which is kind of funny to watch. So that is his E ability. I take that at level 3, and I try not to use it too much early game because it does cost a little bit of mana. So the other two are very, very mana friendly, but that one just takes a bit too much, so I kind of try to not use it as much early game. Finally, we're going to take a look at his ultimate, which is his R, as we know. Chum the Waters. He unleashes a magical fish that latches onto enemies and hovers over the terrain, slowing champions it's latched to. And for a brief delay, nothing happens, and then a shark erupts from beneath the earth, dealing damage to enemies and knocking them back if it doesn't target the single targeted one. So super fun to watch. Does good damage, and it knocks people back who it isn't attached to, so it's good for separating teammates and getting, or the other enemy's team, so you're able to jump all over them and single out individuals, which is nice. You're going to see that used in a couple different ways. You also probably see a couple fail versions since it's a skill shot, so That is his abilities. I'll talk about his tips in the game, some of the ones I like to use, and, you know, skins, fun stuff. So let's take a quick look at masteries, and then we'll get into the game. Alright, taking a look at the masteries pages I used for this game, this may look a bit odd to a few of you first off the start. As you notice, we have the new mastery pages, so now there's quite a bit new things that we can try in most of these trees, which I am very interested to do so, and I'm going to kind of play around with them in some awkward ways, perhaps. So let's take a look at this awkward way for the first. In offense, I only take 1 point, and I put it on my Wrath, basically just to help with my Ghost. So I'm going to get that bonus 35% move speed, which is going to be very nice. And that's all I do in offense. I do like this defense tree a lot, and in the future I'm probably going to be utilizing this for certain champions. So I didn't use it this game though, because right now I'm going to focus on this utility tree, which I find very interesting. There's a handful of things in it I really like, and especially like for Fizz. First few things that I like is the movement speed is nice. I also enjoy the little bit more gold, which is going to help because he's a little bit tough to farm if you don't put him mid or solo lane, which he can do fine in. But let's say you lane bottom or something with somebody, which I do in this video. It's just going to be nice to get a little bit extra gold. I also do take this new one, which is Wealth, where you get an extra 40 gold at the beginning of the game. It's very similar to how League of Legends used to be, when you could start by buying a Doran's item, and then you'd also have enough to still buy a health pot. They changed that, I don't know, probably half a year ago, but now you can do it again, which you'll see me do at the beginning of this game. I buy a Doran's ring, and I end up taking a health pot, and I do actually think that health pot does save me at the beginning of the match. So that's kind of nice to take again. Other things that I do like, obviously the experience earned, so you can kind of level up a little bit quicker, because if you can start to combo his things together, you'll be able to kill people quicker in lane. Bonus experience from assists, health and regen 9. We get some cooldown reduction, which is nice on him, and some more cooldown reduction as well in his summoner spells. So cooldown reduction is another thing that's going to be beneficial for Fizz. His stuff isn't on cooldown forever, especially with this layout. I like this a lot to help with that, but sometimes you wish they were just up a second faster. So it's not too bad, but we're going to take a look at all that stuff too and talk about some of that in the build. So to the video. Alright, now that we're actually in the actual build video now, which we can all be super excited about, which I am. As you can see, if you actually watched my update video yesterday, you can see Hoyt's actually in with me. He's not in this commentary though, sadly. So we found Shyvana, and we're going to start fighting her. Teemo comes out of nowhere because he was sitting there, and he got there before us. And Hoyt's getting beat on, he's going to die, but I'm going to try to chase down this Shyvana, at least make it a 1-for-1. And I get her, which is going to be nice. And now I'm going to fight his team. But I just got blinded, so you know what? Not worth it. And now that I was able to have my masteries to give me that extra 40 gold, I have that health pot, and I do start it. And if, I don't know, it would have been really close. He probably would have dove me to get one more shot off. But I think he probably would have killed me if I did not have that health pot, thanks to that mastery page setup. So that is a new good thing, in my opinion. So other than that, like I said, this is the beginning of the build, and as you can see, I started with a Doran's ring and a health pot. You saw me use the health pot, and because I did get that kill, I was close enough to boots by the time I got back. I was able to get them. So I have boots already, or at least the beginning of my boots, which is going to bring me to what boots to eventually build for Fizz. I end up going with magic penetration. I like it because I'm going to focus fairly heavily upon my AP, at least for this champion this time. Here, actually, we can see we got him getting a little low, so Hoyt's actually going to pop his head out and see if he can grab one of them. He gets a hold of Shyvana, and I'm going to dart in here and get a hold of her to pick up an assist and a nice chunk of gold. So nice assist there to Hoyt. Good arm as well. So like I was saying, I ended up going with the Magic Pen boots, but I can equally see the advantage to Boots of Swiftness. Now, just about every single one of my videos, I do mention that Boots of Swiftness are something that you can take with just about any champion, and yeah, you can. So, I think they're good boots to have, and a lot of people buy them, so it's just good to have them if you need to really get in or get out of situations. So, like I said, those are my opinions on boots. Here I'm getting chased, and you can see my health is getting taken down quite a bit. As for other new changes in the game, and me getting close to dying. As you can see, summoner spell wise, I have taken Ghost and the other new one, which apparently I can't think of right now. What the heck is that called? Surge, that's it. Where you get an additional 10 to 78 AP, at least for this champion. That's what's going to affect, not the attack speed, based on your champion level. So I do like that for right before you want to start a big team fight, or just a fight down in your lane, or if you're going to gank, or if you just want to activate it for the hell of it. So I am going to demonstrate using that at a few points, obviously, in this video. It's just nice you get that extra AP. It's just going to be very critical at certain times of need. I think it's going to be great to see how people end up using it. So I like that new ad. You'll probably start to see me stop using Flash as much now because it's kind of got a little bit nerfed from what I hear, and also because earlier I was having some bad situations with it where I was not being able to flash as far away from situations, and it basically was useless. So I am going to avoid probably Flash for a while and focus on Ghost, because Ghost is probably going to start to take back over like how it used to be. So yeah, that's that stuff for now. As you can see, the last time I did go back, I ended up buying an amplifying tome to get a little bit more AP. The first real main item I'm actually going to be building towards in this build video is a Rylai's Crystal Scepter. For the survivability, the slow, and for the AP. As you can see, it was a good grab on top of Teemo there, and I was able to dart in and finish off the kill. Now I still got a little bit of AP, and I do have my Surge, so I'm going to Surge, I'm going to Ghost, and I'm just going to dive to her and get the kill real quick and get out of turret range. So a quick little dive just to get that kill. I'll go back real quick since I got a handful of gold again. And yeah, nice little simple dive, because I wanted to. That's my reasoning. Now that I'm back, I did completely finish off my boots. I was deciding whether or not to finish off my boots or continue my build on my Crystal Scepter. I decided to finish off the boots just to be a little bit quicker, since Shyvana's got her little bit of speed up when she activates her W. So I'm going to run in here right away, and I'm actually going to start to lose my health a little bit quicker than I want to, and I die. I wasn't really paying attention as well as I should have, but they're both pretty low, so hopefully we'll be able to do something against them when I get back to life. That was a mistake, though, as you can see. And I'm just going to pick up a couple health pots since I got some coins hanging out, so that doesn't happen again, or if it does, I'll be able to at least heal while I'm out there, and I won't have to waste time coming back. Hoyt died while I was gone. I was sad. They dove him. But it'll happen. At times that'll happen, but you got to get over it. So now, you know, just kind of farming up in lane. Definitely activating my W when I need to. Luckily, Shyvana uses Smite in that bush, so I actually see her for a second, which is nice to at least see her. Here we're going to fight her because Teemo's a little bit away. She's going to actually ult. And here, something interesting happens. There I just used my shark, did good damage to her. We're going to get rid of her. I'm going to pick up an assist. Okay, so now I'm going to be able to get away. And I activate a health pot. And I don't know why the hell I ran back into that bush, because a team mushroom was in it. And it killed me. That right there was completely amateur. I admit it. That was bad. So, yeah. Note to self, Teemo's around, just run the hell backwards and stay by your tower and teleport home. That was an unnecessary death. I have a couple of them, but luckily I do get a handful of kills and assists in this game that kind of redeem for my really awkward kind of random weird play situations. So, last time I was back, I got a blasting wand. Obviously, like I said, still going towards my Crystal Scepter. As you can see, somebody just teleported in because I could see the ward. And we have... It's really late. I can't think of names for some stupid reason. It's Urgot. I was going to call him Stupid Face, though, which technically would be a good name for him. So Stupid Face came in bot. If you've been paying attention to the mini-map, their team must have had a conversation or disagreed about something, but they actually had 2 mid, 1 top, 2 bottom. So they did the double mid, so we ended up throwing another person mid. I don't know if they were trying to disrupt the lane or whatnot. Here I find Brand, and I threw my ult on him, got rid of him quick, and now I'm just going to retreat to my tower safely. because, I don't need to fight her, and she's doing pretty good damage. She's got a pretty good farm going so far for herself, so I'm going to have to keep an eye out on that Nidalee. Her spears are also going to hurt very much so late game. But yeah, killed Bran. Always fun to kill him. He's annoying because he does tons of damage. And right now you probably think I might be doing tons of damage, but you've seen how Shyvana's just a little spinning thing, and her little double hit's been doing good damage to me, so I'm not the tankiest in the world by any means. I think you start with, at least with my rune setup and everything, I start with, I think, 39 armor and 29 magic resist, so not the most in the world, but enough, I guess. Ended up getting my Giant's Belt for my Rylai's. We lost our bottom tower. They did a pushing lane bottom. Shyvana had Smite, and she had the other new one for the minion boost. I can't remember what the name of it is, but she was promoting minions, so they were super tough underneath the tower, so they'd be able to get a few more hits off underneath it, and she was taking Smite. So they were just kind of a lane pushing lane. And a little bit of unsuccessful chase there. I barely missed my shark on Shyvana, which if I would have nailed her with that, she would have died too, just it alone. That was unfortunate, but it's going to happen. I'm doing fine right now. I think I'm 4-2-2 or something. So here I'm going to come out and try to see if I can find Bran, but turns out Nidalee shows up, and Hoyt tries to get out of there, but he can't. I run into a mushroom, so I'm just going to have to safely retreat. And all that fun stuff. We already pretty much went over my masteries page because of all the weird changes that they've implemented here. I just saw Udyr come in on a Teemo shroom, and we're going to actually jump in. I'm going to throw my fish in, and you're going to see him come out now. Shark. Jump in here and do some good damage to him. I can see Teemo's kind of, I'm going to start heading towards Teemo. I kind of start to get a little bit separated, so I'm going to head back to the pack and bring them with me for a second. But now they're going to start to run. Hopefully we can get Hoyt up here with a blitz arm. This is going to be funny, actually. While I use my Q, he uses his arm, and we go kind of through each other. But I pick up a few more assists there and a kill. And I'm going to head back right here since I don't want to hit any shrooms. But, simple fun stuff. Another thing you guys might also be realizing right now is that this build video is quite long, and I apologize for that. And the reason for it is, oh wait, hold on, it's Bran. We always got to kill him when Bran shows up. Oh yeah, get a fish on him, just jump in. Nidalee shows up, but whatever, I'm gonna retreat. It's what-ups. But now in a second, or at least later in the game, Bran's gonna start to call me overpowered, and I might be. I don't know for sure. I'm not right. I don't know my exact percentages and all that crap, but I'm going to assume I'm pretty well off. I might be a tiny bit overpowered, but they don't want to make new champions be boring when they come out, at least. But who knows? But the other stupid thing he did is, why would you stand around when I'm really not that far away, when I can jolt in and out of combat? That's kind of like standing, that's like Bran standing around and there's a Collie hanging out. Like, why would he do that? He could get blown up, so, if it's a good Collie at least. Here I'm going to land my ult again, and he's pissed, but you know what? I'm having fun picking at him. I'm going to help finish off Udyr, because holy crap. Urgot, because he's annoying. I should just call him Stupid Fist because he remembers. Shyvana's barely getting away, and we did end up picking up Teemo as well. So that was a pretty good team fight. Unfortunately, Olaf did die there right at the end, but it will happen. People will die. Blood will be shed. Can't quite get to her. She's a tiny bit outside of my Q's range, so I can't quite dash to her. Hoyt's trying to find an angle on her, and he's going to get her to chase. So we're going to head that way, and I want to help him pick up a kill. We're going to chase off Nidalee. She doesn't want to fight all three of us, so she's going to take off. Don't blame her. Okay. Another thing I will say about Fizz is his ultimate is up quite often. I'd say it's up about every, 63 seconds, I think, with the way I have my rune page set up, which I'll talk about in a second. Now here, I'm a little hesitant to initiate, and it did cost Lux her life, and it's actually going to end up costing life. But I do end up getting a kill, which is at least going to be nice, and I'm going to pick up a couple assists, I think, as well, too. It's going to just, I didn't want to initiate right away, and she was going to die no matter what, and we were communicating as well. So, it's kind of unfortunate she got caught up, but luckily we were able to take out a handful of them too. Here I can see that most of them are down in this bush, so we're going to have to be careful out here. But now we don't know where they are, and I'm suggesting that we go back. So we do, and Shyvana peeks her head out here. And so I'm guessing that was a good decision to come back in. We do grab her and do some damage to her. Brand also is coming down. I do not know exactly why Kassadin went back in, but he did some damage, and Lux has done some damage now, so we're going to actually move in since we got a few of them really low. Keep chasing. And Urgot kind of gets in the way. You can see a complete fail fish there, but like I said, his ultimate is a skill shot, and occasionally that's going to happen. Shyvana comes back in to finish off with Lux. Brand's all alone. Time to kill him. And I take a spear that kills me. It's unfortunate. And I'm sad. And I only got assists there too. So, you know, sad. Anyways, back to the actual build and items. As you can see, I'm starting to build. I built a Sheen, and I do have another Blasting Wand and a little bit of Magic Resist. I'm starting to build towards a Lich Bane. Hoy got a kill. I'm trying to get him to bait her back in here. She starts to come, but Teemo shows up, so I actually got to get out there quick. Throw a fish in. Gonna get a hold of her and hit her with a couple things. As he gets an arm, we're gonna blow her up quick. We're gonna get rid of Teemo too. And at this point, I have just assisted Hoyt in the last 3 minutes about 4 or 5 times, which is starting to get sad on my part. I wish I was getting some more kills, but you know what? Assists are good. So, I accept, at least. I'll get some more kills later, for sure. But, I don't even know what I was saying. Hey, look, more fighting. Shyvana, I think I'm finally going to get a kill on her. And then I'm going to chase Urgot here, which is a mistake because I forget about his ult. And he's going to do the flipperoo on me, and I'm just going to get denied under this tower. So, that was a mistake on my part, but, you know, we learn from our mistakes. I never should chase him underneath a tower for the most part, since he can really kind of screw with you. There are a handful of, I don't know, I want to call them team fights. Here, I'm going to actually get, I think, Brand on the very, very tip of the ult. I mean, that is the distance. That's as far, and I'm just going to jump on him and finish him off. As you can see, for some of these team fights, I kind of try to go in just a second after the team either goes in for the sake of being assassin-like. And I kind of play like how I like to play Akali, jump in and pick off the weak ones really quick, which you should do since the weak ones are the ones who do crazy damage. Here I'm typing back to Brand because he's all talking crap. Lux is going to get killed. I may have been able to prevent that if I wasn't typing, but, you know, that's my fault. I'm sorry. And here Nidalee's going to start to do her why we hate Nidalee thing, but we're going to get to her and I'm going to get a kill on her because Hoyt's going to bop her up. And I'll dart across and do a good amount of damage, especially with my Lynch Bane doing all that extra damage once I activate an ability. Lynch Bane's just going to be a really good item, especially against this team. This team has a lot of AP. That seems to be weight. Teemo's building, Brand's building. Who else on their team? Everyone. Not everyone, but a lot of them. So a little bit of magic resist this game is going to be good. So that Lynch Bane was that next main item that I finished. I do sometimes like to rush, depending on the team. Death Cap. Definitely a good item. I believe that is the next item I'm building towards. As you can see, I have a Blasting Wand. And I will get a Needlessly next to finish off to go towards that. I'm going to try to chase here, but I get hit by a mushroom, and that's going to slow me down, which sucks. Didn't want that to happen, but I almost had him in my range. Almost, but they got away. So, you know, we trying hard. As for my rune page this game, more team fights going to happen in a second, but I don't need to talk. You've seen gameplay. As for my rune page setup, it's one I've used before that you've probably heard. It's got magic penetration marks. It's got... Hey, there's a fish miss, but I think it slowed her down just enough, maybe, that we'll be able to... No, she's going to get away because she's Nidalee. Why not? Anyways, magic penetration marks. We have mana per level regeneration glyphs, no, not glyphs, seals. As for my glyphs, I do flat cooldown, and as for my quintessence, I go ability power. Now here, I hang out in the back for a second because my ult's almost up, and if I do dive in there, I'm going to die immediately, and that's not going to be giving us... I mean, that's not going to be helping too much. Lux takes out Nidalee, which is nice, and now my ult's up. I'm going to move in on Urgot, and he's going to get fished big time. So I just kind of hung out in the back there. I just didn't want to jump in because I probably would have got blown up pretty quick because they actually have been doing a decent job of focusing me when they can. Not the greatest, but a decent job. And as you can see, I did get my death cap, so now I have lots and lots of AP, which is fun. I'm gonna drop another fish on this guy. Or am I not? Yeah, here it comes. Big fish. Boom! And I'm unstoppable, which is nice. And I'm gonna try to chase here. And guess what? Shroom. Now I'm slow. And then I'm gonna pick up a spear for like 820, which sucks. And now I'm just running and booking and hoping that that doesn't happen in the next 2 seconds as she peeks her head out and chucks another. But I'm going to get away, which is nice. So as for this build's survivability, the Rylai's Crystal Scepter is really good for the health. Obviously, I'll get a little bit more survivability that way. The Lynchbane is going to be nice because of the magic resist, and as I've checked from deaths and because of what they're building, I'm going to continue more magic resist. Now here I find Brand, and he's going to get whaled. Luckily, Teemo steps into it to take a big chunk of damage, and as much as I'm missing, my W's passive of the wound is what actually kills off Teemo there, so I get a nice little double kill by myself, which is gonna be good. I think if they would have both been paying attention and Teemo would have jumped into my ultimate and taken that damage, I think they probably would have killed me, but luckily I did get a nice little double kill. So like I said, I'm going to continue my magic resist, and the next item I'm going to build is one of my, I don't want to say more favorite items in the game, but is the Abyssal Scepter. So I get magic resist, magic pen, and more AP. As you can see, there was a bit of a team fight there. I actually did live quite a bit longer than I should have. I didn't really have that much life, and I was able to stay in there and do good damage. So I've actually been toying around with some more ideas for this build. A cooldown reduction build may work if you kind of want to tank him. I'm not sure it'd be the greatest build, to be honest, but that's an idea I've thrown out there. And another one, you'll see late game I start to throw around the idea of Spell Vamp. Why not? I have so much AP and my abilities do good burst. I should be able to use Spell Vamp fairly effectively, so I end up going with the Will of the Ancients to help out the team in late game. That's actually the next real big item I get since I have my Abyssal. Luckily we do get Baron as they do try to come steal it, and now we're going to chase some of them down and get some kills out of it. So I got an assist on the Shyvana, and I'm going to get, I think, an assist on this team. Or I don't. Okay, I don't. But I chased, so effort. So A for effort. Yay. Effort. Anyways, like you've seen, more stuff happening. Really, really long game because nobody on our team besides Olaf is really, really awesome at pushing towers. Fizz really isn't that good at it. He's not bad at it, but he's not good at it, so that's something to consider. They're actually the first ones to really get inside of someone's base, but in a team fight right now, we kind of, as long as we initiate correctly and we pick off people like Teemo and Shyvana does stuff like this, we're going to be able to pick them off one by one, which is going to be nice. The shark. Yep, right there. Nom nom nom. Babies. And we still have Baron, and we're going to keep pushing, because that's what you do when you kill him. Push. Or else games do last this long. And sometimes they last this long anyways. Brand's behind us, thinking he can sneak up on us. I don't know what that's all about. He's going to die to Kassadin. And I'm going to keep pushing with Olaf. Luckily, though, with my Lynchbane, activating my W just to get that added AP to count as damage is fantastic when you're fighting against a tower. I think I hit that last tower for like 380 something. It was ridiculous. So that was a good way to push. It helped take the tower out a little bit quicker. As you can see, I got my Will of the Ancients now to help with some Spell Vamp, and it is a nice item. I would also consider a Hextech Gunblade with Fizz. So I think that would also work very well since you're in there doing, you know, your basic attack with your W to help do more damage, and you get your Spell Vamp, your lifesteal, and all that fun stuff. So I think that's another very, very viable item. I'll put that down as a backup item for this build, or other items to consider at least. Here we're going to get a hold of Shyvana and kill her, which is nice, and we're going to find the rest of their team. Lux gets an all off to help hurt. I'm going to start chasing towards Urgot, because I don't like him at all. I do end up getting a hold of Nidalee there real quick, and now I'm chasing again. Guess what this is going to do? It's going to get me killed. You would think I'd learn. I didn't learn, apparently. Massive mistake. But for the most part, guys, that's this build, and that's this game. We're going to wrap this up right here real quick. I'm sorry it was so long and mildly boring because it's late at night right now and I'm mildly tired. But you know, I think this build works fairly well. I like it. It's a good build. I'll obviously put other things down I recommend as well. But for the most part, thanks for watching it, guys. Like it if you do, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I actually got more builds coming to the future. Victory! Say it. She doesn't say it. There, I said it for you. Anyways, got a couple builds you guys can look at. Couple of the other champions that came out. We have Graves on top doing work in a build video. We also have, and by Graves on top, I actually mean Shyvana on top. Apparently, I can't see with my own eyes. And we got Graves on bot. So there's a couple more build videos you guys can check out. Other than that, thanks for checking this out today, guys. I'll see you in the next build video.